common, or what people are starting to hear of, is Bitcoin.
Mm-hmm.
Bitcoin is built on blockchain technology, but Bitcoin's just another currency. These guys are
it's
making
not
it
currency,
specific to
that.
construction. So yeah, Build1X if you want to look them up. They're
So they could do that in any country with any currency. I would
yeah,
think.
there is no currency. Like
So are they your
the
lender?
dollar bill is. Yeah.
They're your lender.
So they're going. It's called instead of an IPO, it's an ICO, an initial coin offering. So they're doing that here in the next month or so.
And it's not currency backed? It's not
It's
dollar?
people that buy into it. I don't.
That's
the
interesting.
high level of it, I don't really understand.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see who's backing Build1X, like whose money is going into that.
Bitcoin.
Well, that's what they're telling me is all these people
One
that
more
made
person?
millions
That's a
of
lot of
Bitcoin
money.
are looking
Right?
for these
One more person?
ICOs. They're
Yeah.
basically putting all their money
Yeah.
into these ICOs.
Yeah,
to-
there's a new one
getting
every day.
into
It's
this.
just amazing how that exploded. But I was thinking about like the legal industry is using smart contracts, which are just they're kind of following the blockchain technology where someone puts in the information and it automatically creates a contract. And it's immutable, it leaves a record, you can see exactly how it's been changed as it's gone through the process, and you don't need a paralegal filling out forms for people anymore.
The cool thing about it is it's all documented and everyone knows what's going on, but you can't look back and see the other way, right? So the immediate concern I brought up was, okay, now my framer's gonna have to tell me what his margin is, because if I'm paying his subs, and no, that's not the case. It's documented going this way, but looking back, you can't see, because your identity changes, or I mean, it sounds hokey, really, quite frankly. But there's a lot of people on this Bitcoin thing that's saying
Yeah.
the US dollar and every other currency's going away.
I don't understand it, but Michael and I were at a conference in Los Angeles, a business conference, and it was like a bunch of little TED Talks,
Yeah.
and people were talking about it like crazy.
Really?
Oh yeah, and then all of a sudden now, because I was connecting people on LinkedIn and Facebook and stuff like that, and now it's like all over my LinkedIn and Facebook. But I don't understand it, so I don't get involved in anything else.
Well, it was just actually on the
That's pretty cool.
105.9 on the radio show in the morning. I listened to that going into work. And this Bitcoin thing is mainstream now. People are talking about
It's
it.
trading at 10,000 now?
I thought
Yeah.
like 17,000.
Oh, I mean, it may well
Yeah,
have
it's
gone up
crazy.
yesterday.
Yeah.
But the DJs were talking about the same thing. Well, this is kind of like the internet was in the mid-90s. Everyone's scared of it. What do you mean I'm going to transfer money through my computer? And they're saying that this could be the next.
Because they were talking about that on like shows like Law and Order like 10, 15 years ago or something like that. At least 10 years, like something about Bitcoin. Like it's not new, but it's like now it's
I
finally
want to say
becoming.
Bitcoin was the ICO was 2007 or something like that.
2007 or 2008.
That's
Yeah.
about 10 years ago. Yeah,
Mhm.
I remember seeing it on some like TV show, law like
Really?
crime show or something like that, right?
Well, initially there
Good
was
for
a
them.
bunch of shady stuff going on with it. That's
But
all.
now it's
Yeah,
like
that's what I had heard, was it was the currency of the quote-unquote dark web.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Which
Yeah.
I'm not really sure what that is either.
Yeah.
well, it doesn't.
Surfing the web
Julian
with the
Assange
lights
like
out
isn't he?
there.
Didn't he get some? wasn't
The
Julian-
actual
Julian
guy who
Julian
started
Assange?
Bitcoin,
No,
I
I
don't
don't
know what
know.
it is,
They
right?
pay him in
Right.
bitcoins because he was like held up in the.
That's
I don't know.
and will it become a part of the Federal Reserve System?
No, that's the beauty
Yeah.
of it.
Yeah, well, that's just it.
It's-
Well, that's the
it's
that's the
speed.
problem. That's
There's
what they
an
were
awful
talking
lot
about.
of people that are looking at it saying,
Yeah.
if it doesn't, then
That's the shadiness
what
of it, right?
that's-
Is it? But another pitch that these guys have is, as a superintendent or owner, whatever, you can drive by your job site, see that the framing's done, hit a button, and everyone's paid, instead of having the bank schedule to come out, take a look at it, go through that whole process. So there's a lot of good things that they're advertising, whether they're true or not.
I don't
guess
claim
this
to understand
pioneer-
that at all, but
Yeah.
But actually, the federal
It reeks
government
of
does
Bernie
have like
Madoff.
millions
It
of dollars
does.
of Bitcoin.
It does.
And I
they-
think that's one of the big
I can't
challenges
remember
for
how.
overcoming
I'm
that
gonna
is
look it up. 'Cause
people
I remember
not
this
knowing
conference they were
how it
talking
works
about.
and
They
how,
somehow, like, took over a company
it's
or
nice to
whatever,
know that
or,
I've been
you
paid, I have it
confiscate
right here,
confiscate
it's not
something
gonna
from
just
dealers or
fly out of my
whatever.
account.
They have like they're holding on to it, like millions of dollars. I gotta look into it now because now I'm remembering this conversation that I was only half paying attention to. I was saying that I remember now in this conference that I was like half listening to this story. It's starting to come up that the federal government is holding on to something like $35 million or something. That's not the number of Bitcoin that they somehow confiscated from some illegal, actions, but they haven't.
Yeah, there was guys that got locked up for, I forget the story. There's a documentary on it called was it Behind or Building Bitcoin or anyway, if you go on Netflix and search Bitcoin, you'll see there's one big documentary, I forget what it's called.
Fascinating.
Banking on Bitcoin, that's what it is. That talks about the scandals that happened when that first got going.
Okay, so we talked a little bit about legislation here in Colorado. Is there anything happening at a national level that you're keeping your eye on, either because you're concerned or that you're really pushing for it?
I would say other than the potential labor issues we'll have with building a wall.
Taxes.
Taxes, yeah.
Yeah, I'm kind of concerned
That should come
about
out tomorrow.
Huh?
Fingers crossed. We should see the final bill tomorrow,
Yeah.
hopefully.
I mean, if
With the mortgage tax deduction, you mean?
well, the mortgage tax deduction, and then there's
A huge tax break.
and then there was the other one. It was the mortgage tax deduction, and then the one where you can write off.
State and local taxes?
Yeah, up to 500,000 or whatever. That's
Well, 500,000 is the mortgage interest deduction.
Yeah, the mortgage interest deduction.
State and local taxes is a part of Colorado. I mean, we
Yeah.
we have lower taxes than some parts of the country, but that will have an impact
Yeah.
on money that stays in our state versus going back to the federal government. We will be a net loser in that.
Yeah.
Colorado. We'll see an outflow of money.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I think a lot of stuff is kind of up in the air. If people are not, healthcare could be an issue. I mean, all these things are going to affect people's. One of the things that I remember back in 2007, 2008, when people filed bankruptcy, 50% of the bankruptcies came because of health bills to medical bills.
bankruptcy, yeah. And now it's still a big number.
50%?
Now it's
it was
30%.
something like it was like yeah, it's still, but it's down
still
a
a big
little bit
number.
because well, I don't want to get into this whole political conversation, but people talk about personal responsibility, and I think people should make sure they have health coverage, right? Don't write that down. but you know what I'm saying, because it affects everybody else, and then also if people aren't covered, then and they're drowning under medical bills, they can't buy houses. I mean, it affects. It's just a cycle.
Right.
So.